Hey everybody, Gina DeLuca here. Alright, this is going to be a piece from way back. Going to lay down a base coat. This is one of my fluid art impressionist pieces. I am just sketching out the form with my palette knife. I am using one of the mid-tone colors. And the way that I go about these kinds of paintings, I start with the midtones and then I add the shadows and highlights. This is different than some other forms of media. If you're doing watercolors, then you go from lightest to darkest. A lot of times if you're using oils, you go from darkest to lightest. It's all, kind of a personal preference, but there are some typical norms. When I started doing these fluid art impressionist pieces, there wasn't anybody else doing these kinds of things, so I kind of had to just do a lot of trial and error to figure out the best way to get the effects that I wanted. These fluid art expressionist pieces, the splashes, they typically take about 90 minutes, and that's kind of as much time as you can get. The Floetrol does work as a work time extender, as well as it helps to level out the paint. It is meant to level brush marks, and you use it when you're spraying on paint on houses. But it does help to give me more work time than I would have with any other kind of pouring medium. And as you can see, the more shadows and highlights that I add, the more depth the piece has, the more detail. And when you look at one of these up close, it's kind of like a Monet. It doesn't look like much until you step back, and then it makes sense and your eyes kind of fill in the blanks, or your brain fills in the blanks of what your eye's not seeing, I guess is a better way to put it. If it feels intimidating to do this on a canvas, try it with pencil first and get used to the idea of drawing the form and figuring out where your highlights and shadows are, and that will actually probably make it a lot easier for you. Here's the finished piece. I hope you enjoyed. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things. Check me out over on the Play Button app for full tutorials. You can do this. Give yourself the permission to make mistakes. That's the only way to get better. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Now go make some art.